Hi, caller. You're on the
Hello?
air. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Relationship Smith Show. We have a very special episode. Normally, we like to broadcast live, especially when we do interviews with people. This week, we had an interview with Andy Dick, famous comedian, actor, writer, producer, and we did a lot to prepare for this interview. Andy's had a lot of fantastic ups and a few very public downs, and of course, we wanted to prepare.
You forgot legend. He's a legend, so there we go.
And he did
Absolutely.
our show.
And he agreed to do our show.
And it was awesome.
The one thing you know about Andy Dick is he's fairly unpredictable. And all the prep we did, I did my homework. I watched episodes of things he's done to refresh myself, stuff I've enjoyed since the late '80s, actually. And I went through, and Andy threw us some curveballs, of course, which is one of the reasons we didn't do it live. And it was a lot of fun.
A few. It was awesome. It was awesome. I want to do that 100 times over. But
yeah, Zaz had to edit it, so he knows very well what needed to come out. There were some things that YouTube would kick us off the air for. There were some things that Twitch would kick us off the air for. Andy, again, I felt that he really gave us. He tried to really interact with us. We went in kind of cold. We didn't talk to him or do any pre-screening, and this is what we got, right, guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was fantastic. And it's. I'm glad we walked out of there without any lawsuits or anything like that. It was. Thank God for Eddie.
Newly open marriage in one case, maybe.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. Oh,
so,
man.
You know, we want to probably get on with the actual interview part of the show soon here. Don't want to get in the way of everything. There will be some very funny parts of this interview. There will be some pretty sad parts of this interview. We're going to take questions in chat during, and we will actually take questions and calls afterwards if we have people interested in talking about how the interview went. Some of the stuff we might have cut out just because we couldn't talk about it. We do want to hear from you, and if you like what you see, please like, click, subscribe, all that stupid stuff, and more importantly, share it out. We're trying to do some really cool stuff here, and any help you give us is greatly appreciated. So, are we ready, guys? Do we want to go with the what we have?
Yeah, let's go.
Take a look.
Yeah, just wanted to thank you, since we're gonna just really concentrate on Andy a lot, but I wanted to get in and say thank you to you.
Of course, bro. Thank you so much. Shout out to the IP2 network, and thanks for having me on to.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, my notes up. Yeah. Zaz, is that you? Keyboard?
Is that really loud?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop.
Oh, there's my coffee.
Hey. Oh, I want to move my camera, but.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
How's it going?
Good. What evening there? Right, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. Sorry.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. Where are you?
Pittsburgh.
Houston.
I lived in Monroeville.
No kidding.
Really?
Shut the front.
I know.
I
I know.
did.
I read when I did research. I saw you lived in Pennsylvania. I'm like, not Pittsburgh area. Like, no way. How long were you here? What? How old were you?
My teenage years. Yeah, for years.
We came here to talk to you and catch up, and I just want to talk to you as a human being. I just would love to get to know you a little bit better. You've been part of my life, entertainment wise. You've been entertaining me for the early 90s, mid 90s. I think we'll get to the questions. I first started watching you on the Ben Stiller show. A friend of mine was very into it. He taped every episode and we watched him repeatedly. And I just got to say, you've been part of this for a long time. So thank you. You worked with comedy greats on that show. You were part of an ensemble of some of the best comedians of the time. And I can't believe you were all at one place at one time.
Name them.
Bob Odenkirk, Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, Judd Apatow.
Yeah, you got it.
I went through, I actually rewatched a couple episodes. And one thing I took away from it was how fresh your take on things were. And also that Ben Stiller always seemed to find a reason to take his shirt off.
Sorry.
No, he really did. You're right.
I think it's just like
think about that. That is weird.
But I mean, it's did you have any idea Bob Odenkirk was gonna go where he is in life? Because I remember he was
my favorite. When I was on that show, Bob was my favorite. We were very, very, very close. And he's just fucking phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more.
And still is.
So when you walked onto a show like that and you're surrounded by just so much talent, and you are, again, part of that talent, you're an ensemble cast. How did you build relationships with these people? It was a short run thing.
Back then, I was the main talent.
Really? I thought it would be Ben because of his parents back then.
Oh, yeah. Ben. Yes. And you know who his parents are? Do you know their names?
Jerry and I can't remember his mom's name. I actually saw a thing where he talked a lot about them and how they influenced him. And I can't remember his mom's name. I've seen her in a million things, but it's I don't know.
Stiller and Mira. And Mira.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And I've, it just whenever I found out that was even a connection, I didn't know for the longest time. I knew Ben Stiller and I knew Jerry, but I didn't realize, I just figured similar, same last names in the industry. And I'm like, that's absolutely amazing. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think how I even got on that show.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because you had smaller parts up to that point, and then bam, that was for me. Who is this guy?
It blew me up. It really did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He came to see me when I was performing live, and he just came up to me. I was performing live, and then he came up to me and said, "Hey, I really want you to be on my new show." And I'm like, what show? I was already on shows.
Yeah. And you have a career of meeting everybody. I think it's probably an easier game to play 7 Degrees of Andy Dick than Kevin Bacon. You have been in everything. You've touched everything. You've just owned cameos.
Some of my everything.
You've been involved. You've known and worked with so many people. So much talent through the years. Just.
Can I name one that I worked with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Get Smart.
Oh, Get Smart.
John Adams and Barbara Feldon.
You were there.
I worked with them.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was crazy to me because my dad used to love that fucking show. And you know what? We should turn this light on.
So the Get Smart thing, what was was meeting John Adams to me would have been just the biggest amazing thrill of my life.
I know, right?
And Barbara Feldon was one of my first crushes.
Yeah. Who? Barbara Feldon?
Barbara Feldon, one of my first crushes.
She was fucking great. Can you believe I worked with them? It's so weird that I worked with them.
It's amazing. And then, all the people you've worked with. Yeah, exactly. So
well,
how did that?
You're gonna start naming the dead ones.
No. I hope
Well-
not.
But when I'm just curious, like when you think back on that time working with them, that meant these people that meant something to you. Well, what does that memory feel like? Like, what does that give to you when you reminisce on that time?
That I'm a lucky dog, which I am.
Yeah, you are. We were when we were trying to get you on a show like 3 weeks ago. We were going to put together a video to try to say, hey, we really want you here. We love what you do, and we actually did some AI generated images of what you would look like if you had the weight of the world on your shoulders. Do we have some of those ready, Josh?
I've got at least one here. I can pull up some others, but here's one.
This is, by the way, you're really hard to have AI do anything for because it doesn't like your last name. I just want to say, like, you're AI proof.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
not-
it looks.
No. No.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it's-
even like that one. What is
No.
that?
That's
Yeah,
like
the
D.
right one.
Snyder.
That is the
It was very D. Snyder, yeah.
yeah. That was what the future put out there.
I was like, I wanted a picture of you muscular, just holding the world like Atlas, and AI couldn't do it. And the only one of the one sites we went to even tried. But we like to play with it and see what happens because
I just imagine Josh right now is hammering away at the keyboard. Make another one quick.
Scroll back far enough to find him, yeah.
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 You guys are fun.
Hey, did you ever when you worked with Don Adams, was he the first celebrity you ever worked with, like that you idolized or really appreciated as a kid, that you were growing up and said, hey, I want to do something like that? Or was there somebody else that you, like, the first time you ran into him, say on set or even just
I can't remember the first one. I mean, it might be Phil Hartman who died,
Yeah.
I think Don Adams died too.
Yeah.
God, they're just all dropping like flies, aren't they?
Yeah, Suzanne Summers passed away today too.
Except for Mel Brooks, who was in
No.
the first episode of Get Smart, still alive and kicking, just crushing it still.
Mel Brooks,
And
yeah,
hilarious, yeah.
Yeah,
he's still
first
hilarious
episode.
too.
Get Smart, yeah.
Wait, Mel Brooks died?
No, he did not. No,
no,
he's
no.
he's alive. He's gonna outlive us all. Like the world will be dust. It'll be end, and then Mel Brooks will still be writing screenplays in France somewhere. Yeah,
Who's that other person talking?
that's me,
That's-
Zaz.
Zaz down in the corner, make him big.
No, don't make me big. Don't make me big. God damn it!
There he is. There
quit.
he is.
I'm out. I quit. I'm over this.
There he
I'm
is. Then
done.
get off. If you quit, then get the fuck off.
There, you got directed. We got rid of him. There, you got fired. You got fired by Andy Dick. Not the
Nice.
first time. There's a whole show around that.
Called The Assistant.
The Assistant.
Did
And,
you like that show?
I only caught a little bit of it. I was I ran a business for a while where I just pretty much spent my entire
You were
evenings-
9.
No, I'm 52 right now. You're a little older than me.
Yeah, I'm 57.
Hey, speaking of a show you run, how did you end up on Star Trek Voyager as the Mark II EMH? How did that happen?
The producer really wanted me to be on it. And I'm like, what? What do you want me to do? Star Trek. And yeah,
Well, you nailed it, and you are part of the Star Trek universe forever, sort of thing. And
yeah. I have actually gone to some of the fucking Star Trek conventions.
How was it?
Just because of that role I played.
What did it treat you well? Was it a good time?
I'm curious what you're thinking.
I had a very hard time, and you know why? Because I had to say their dialogue.
Oh no, they made you,
You know what I mean?
perform. Yeah,
I had to say it was like normally when I act, I can just, like I am now, just winging it. But in Star Trek,
Yeah.
you gotta stick to the words,
Right.
Very important.
stick
sure.
to the jargon. Yeah.
Well, you nailed it. I loved that episode. I was a fan. I'm a Star Trek nerd. But yeah,
well,
you did an amazing job.
I walked off the set and cried because I wasn't doing well, and I knew I wasn't.
Wow, that's heartbreaking. Whatever you did, you did turn it around. That's one of the best episodes of Voyager.
It is.
Yeah, I think so. I love it. It's
My buddy.
yeah. And what was it like working with Robert Picardo? Did he tell you how an EMH acts, or did he just kind of let you go on your own because he was the only example of somebody who played that type of character?
Nobody can control me, first of all.
I've heard that.
But he loved me. We got along very well.
Did you know? I'm sure you've been to the conventions, but there are fans who are making Star Trek series on YouTube and other things. Have you been approached to replay this character by any of them? And if not, would you say yes, possibly, if somebody asked you?
I would.
I'd like, yeah,
Yeah, of course.
I would love to see more of that character. And
Look,
you
I'm
are
on your fucking stupid.
I want to high five the shit out of Andy for that one. That was awesome. He's right. He's absolutely right.
You're doing our show.
God damn it, that was good.
I'll be honest. I put that out there, hoping that the people who like doing these things reach out to you, and because I want to see more of your character come back, and he should be in multiple places throughout Star Trek. It wasn't just one episode. You existed.
You are infatuated with Star Trek.
Thank
A
you.
little bit.
He
Sometimes.
shoehorns it into every episode we do.
No, I don't. Let's move off from Star Trek. So you've had major hits with multiple shows, News Radio, Less Than Perfect, The Andy Dick Show, Workaholics. But I love your cameo work. So yeah, Dude, Where's My Car and Road Trip. How do you pick the right cameos for you? Because you elevated those movies with a few minutes.
Yeah, why? I have a question for you. I didn't say that. You didn't. That was not what I said.
That's it's not even an insult to me.
I'm allowed to say it because I suck dick.
I just.
Where's the other guy that's laughing? Where's the other guy laughing in the background?
Right here. I'm the little screen on the left.
There.
Oh, now I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm waiting for him to get to the Andy Dick Show, because that's the part where I want to like dig both feet in on, because that
Go
shit
ahead.
was like the stuff that you used to kick out was
Yep.
that was a breath
That
of
was
fresh air.
that by the way was all me.
That shit.
That was me putting my all into it.
Yep.
You ever have that type of laugh?
Because
where,
my
like,
name
Yep.
is in the title.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nathaniel, for stepping on you. My apologies. But
Do it.
my thing is like I've been like kind of sitting on this waiting to jump in, but the Andy Dick Show was that type of humor that you hadn't really seen yet for that time with your voice on it. I did that crazy the time when you out Tom Green to his goddamn. I know
I
it's
got away with a lot. That
Yeah.
you
Your opening
probably
alone
could not
would get you
get
canceled
away.
today.
Yeah, you probably can't get away with that shit now.
No. So we know what you got away with. What the hell did they tell you? You said, no, you can't do this. What was the bridge too far? Like, that's a thing you don't say. But
I
like, what was
quit.
too far?
I quit because, to be honest with you, I'm gonna cry now. My son was going through a horrible drug addiction, and I said I can't do this show anymore. My own show.
Right.
Own show.
Well, one of those things was more important to you. So I want to just, we talked to an actor last week. Actually, was it last week? Actor, comedian, about what it was like his first year in LA. Do you remember any of that stuff? Do you make friends that year that you still have? Because
Who were you talking to last week? What are you talking about?
Oh, we got to pull up his name.
Brian Swinehart. Brian Swinehart. Yeah.
Who?
Just
Brian Swinehart.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you would know him, but like the thing that we talked to him about was the first year in LA. He made friends that he still has today that are some of his best friends. Do you have any memories like that where like that first year was so influential in what you did later on?
Well, you know, when I got to LA and I was performing live on stage, that's how I did it, by the way.
Yeah.
I performed live on stage. Ben Stiller came to my shows, and that's why I was on. Then I go on to, okay, so who's the other talking? I'm allowed to say that because I suck dick.
Josh is the bottom right hand.
I don't see him. Oh, there he is. He's cute. You know, get rid of the beard and we might be able to date.
It's a double entendre.
You look like one of my boyfriends.
Sweet. And or sorry, I don't know either.
He looks like Jared.
I like how he said plural. Like that's how you just know. Plural. Josh, get me off the main picture now.
He's shy. Yeah, he's just not gonna look at the camera now. We've scared him away.
Look,
show me the other picture.
You got a little
Mustache.
gray. You got a little gray coming in.
Yeah, that's from acute alcoholism, Andy. That's what happens when you just drink a ton in a very short amount of time for extended periods. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should shave the beard.
No, I don't have a chin. The nice thing about having a beard is you can sculpt like facial structure with a beard. So since I don't have a chin, I just grow beard, right?
You think you don't have a chin. You need to shave that beard.
I know, but Andy, if I shave the beard, no one's gonna want to talk to me anymore. No one's gonna want to talk to me. Everyone's gonna take a look at me like, who's that slackjaw freak? I look inbred, so they don't need to see me without a beard.
I know what all of my clips for the show are going to be.
You son of a bitch. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really
Andy, I
appreciate you
wanna
taking the
thank
time
you.
tonight, Andy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for real, thank you. I wish you nothing but the best. And you have given us thousands and thousands of hours of entertainment with your work. And I hate to ask you for more, but man, I hope to see some writing from you. Like, I just love what you write, what you create.
I'll write you a fucking opening song for your stupid. But this is his phone, and he wants me to turn it off.
No, you can say it if you want.
That's okay. It's okay. We've taken up an hour of your time, and
Yeah,
that's
that
what
was
we
really-
asked for.
Oh,
And I
super cool.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Especially on the prime time fun time. So
Where the other guy? Let me see here.
please put Josh on. God.
And how old are you?
42. 42.
Too old for me.
Shame. I'm in Houston too. It's way too humid down here. So
That's another reason you should shave your beard.
True.
I don't like this pro shaving beard thing. This is not, it's not going to happen again. And yeah, it's it's staying.
We both think you should. All
I'm
three.
getting
of us.
voted up. I might actually just do it just to do it just one more time, just because this is going to be, we'll take a,
You
Wait,
think,
how about
you think you look bad without it, but
terrible,
yeah,
not just bad, horrendous,
No.
grotesque. Yeah.
we have a picture?
Yeah.
We have a picture.
Like I'm the type of guy like, you motherfucker.
and he was going out with who I fingered. What? I didn't.
That's a heck of an ending right there. That's beautiful. Yeah, as you can see, we talked for an hour, and there's a fair amount we had to cut out, and maybe we'll find a place we could stream something like that. Content that we took out, we did take out some for privacy reasons. In he was talking about people that weren't there to represent themselves. In we didn't want to involve people if they didn't want to be involved, other than of course his love for a lot of the people that he worked with. So. How did you guys like the interview? By the way, if you want to call in, you can give us a call. You could talk to us directly in chat. You could join us on Discord. We want to hear your questions about how we went into it and how we came out of this interview. It was our first interview of the sort, and we knew it was going to be tough going in. What'd you guys think? Of course, you're still muted, Taz.
He is still muted. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really cool to talk to Andy Dick, but I hope that that he makes whatever changes he thought were necessary that he discussed there. And he said that he had written some new stuff and that he was ready to do and present some of that. And I am extremely excited about that prospect.
110% across
great,
the board. Yeah, no, it's they need more of that. God, it's well, I don't want to get into the whole like how the world would take it, just because it's so many things have changed since that brand of humor, but it's absolutely necessary. It's you need that shock, and yeah, you could see. I mean, even then in that interview, he was willing to throw down, and he had a blast. We had a blast. So
yeah, he threw punches. He took a couple punches. Obviously we're never out to abuse or embarrass our guests.
Just having fun.
Whenever anything came his way, he rolled with it. And I mean, I honestly didn't know what to expect going on. My visions of what could happen range from very bad to really good. I think we met somewhere in the middle. It was definitely a learning experience. And to go back to what Josh had said, I would really like to see some stuff Andy's doing. What I would really love more than anything is to see him do an autobiography or a one-man show about where he started and then the bad stuff. And then, just being honest with people about this is where it is, and talk about, drug addiction or mental health, whatever he has going in front of him that he has to deal with, because there could be some good messages in there, and it doesn't always have to be funny. Andy Dick doesn't have to be the Andy Dick comedy character. There's a real person in there, and we saw a lot of that in our talk.
That's all true, and I hope that he does all those things as soon as he's done writing our theme song.
Yeah, I want to hear Andy Dick write our theme song. Whatever, if it's just lyrics, if there's whatever he can give us, we will take it and get it done.
Like, you guys know I don't like Star Trek for reasons.
Yeah, you do.
But I would
Everybody
literally
does.
sell one of my dogs to see him do Star Trek. No, that would just be. I don't know what episode you were talking about, Hammer. I know you're thoroughly in the Star Trekian universe,
Someday
but
you're going to have to get over the fact that the future is diverse. I'm sorry.
you painted me in the corner with that one, George, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, and I actually watch a lot of Star Trek fan fiction. In fact, I'm trying to get one of the major players in Star Trek fan fiction to do the show, and I'm not going to give up. So if you're watching, because I mentioned Star Trek, this is going to get some extra views, but I always thought it was a shame that there was a whole character, like a class of character, the MH Mark II, that exists in the Star Trek universe, and no fan films and no fan fiction really covers what this doctor meant to that part of the universe. So I just think it would be kind of cool, and I would like to see some fans do it. Honestly, it would be great.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, can you
Words.
like really quickly, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but could you explain to us what this Dr. Mark II is? Like, could you try give us
All right.
so we know,
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with Data. Like I got that as a
Yes.
reference point. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
So give me
Yeah.
from Data, who the fuck is a Dr. Mark II?
So in every Star Trek series, there's a character that's not human and has to learn what human is about. It was Spock, then it was Data, and then in Star Trek Voyager, it was the EMH. It's an emergency medical hologram. So not a real person, computer generated hologram, but looks, acts, and interacts with the world, especially later on in the season, just like a person. He gets autonomy. He can wander around the ship and be transported, all this stuff like a regular person. Well, in this particular episode, they go back to the original, like, near Earth, where they've progress in technology has created another hologram that's newer and better than the one that's been on the Voyager ship stranded on the other side of the galaxy.
Yeah, I saw this. They
And
called him
that's
Vision,
Andy
right?
Dick.
Oh,
I don't remember the name. I'm not that kind of a geek.
yeah, he married Wanda
So, yeah.
Maximoff.
No,
No.
I don't think so. But so yeah, it's a hologram, and Andy Dick could have played it in a number of ways, and I was curious in the interview if Robert Picardo had influenced that, if they had conversations, and how much, because knowing Andy Dick likes to be Andy Dick and a lot of the things he does or act his way, I wondered how much was directed, how much was given by another actor, and all that stuff. But
That's valid.
It
That's
seems like it
valid.
was a mix of both. Yeah.
Yeah, he said the producer loved him, so yeah, I imagine as much. They got a little bit of free reign in there. I mean, you don't hire somebody like Andy Dick if you don't let them be a little bit of their personality, right? I mean,
Exactly.
That's
And I
kind of
think
his thing is he's
again,
unique.
I was very honest with Andy when I said that it was one of my favorite episodes, because it's very different from a lot of the episodes in that series and especially that season. It was it did something different, and it actually advanced the whole universe. And people don't talk about it enough. It was a great episode, and Andy was very good in it.
I was hoping it would lead to the punchline, and you would never say this, but you just go in, yeah, because the rest of Voyager sucks, but
A
boy
lot
can
of
dream.
Voyager sucked. A lot of
Really?
Voyager sucked.
We
Yeah.
got that on video. Okay.
Until Jerry Ryan showed up. And by the way, Jerry, you're invited on the show anytime. I think it didn't. Yeah, she was there for the sex appeal, and we could talk about that with Star Trek for hours.
Can we stop talking about Star?
No, we can't stop talking about Jerry Ryan. She was. If you watch her now on Star Trek Picard, you could actually see the actress that she was then. She's an amazing actress, and she was then. And I'm glad she's finally getting a Star Trek role that can show off her actress and not just her spandex. So, and then we can shut up and move on back to Andy Dick. Yeah, you guys, that was your cue.
Yeah, I know. I was just kind of making you sit there in the awkwardness. What is Star Trek talk? But anyway, yeah, no.
Let's remind everybody real quick, since you started talking, you could give us a call, 412-254-4829. If you have questions about our interview with Andy Dick, questions about relationships, questions that you might have had about our previous shows, talking with other comedians, actors, directors. You could also ask in chat on YouTube, Discord. No, we have a Discord. You could reach out to us, and we will gladly take your questions.
Since you mentioned past shows, you want to talk about an upcoming show that we have coming around the corner?
I'm not
No?
prepared. I don't have all the information in front of us. But yes, we will have a show coming up, a special Halloween episode next week. Let me look up some info real quick here.
Last week we
So I
had
get
Brian Swinard on, and you can find him on Twitter, comedian. Yep. This week
We'll be
we had
editing and showing. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, stop.
No, it's
We'll be
okay.
showing that video, that interview a little bit edited up and cleaned up some sound on there too. So expect that to come out. We won't do a premiere like we did with this, but we'll put it on our YouTube channel.
Josh, I got to ask about your headset. Looks like you were kind of halfway there and you just gave up.
Yeah.
Is that sorry, I'm trying to again pull up the information that
I've been
I wasn't prepared for.
I've been editing video for the past 2 days nonstop. So when there's dead air now, all I'm looking for is the snippet tool to snip out the dead air. So that way it just keeps moving. And it's like playing a video game for a long time. Like with shooting it, like, you play Duck Hunt, all you look for is ducks because you just played it for so long. That's a dated reference right there. But the point being is it just now, since I just heard a little bit of silence, I'm like, where's the snipping tool?
Right. So I pulled up the information. Next
Yeah.
week is we didn't plan on this. I actually asked this gentleman to be on our show before I realized what month this would be happening in. We have paranormal investigator Bill Slevin joining us next week. He's going to be here to talk about relationships of ghost hunters between each other, relationships of if you get into ghost hunting and paranormal, how that can affect your relationship. And we're even going to talk about how the paranormal may have relationships with each other. We're going to dig into all of that. Bill is a noted investigator. He's also more on the cynical side. So, he has very definite thoughts on what is or is not a paranormal phenomenon. And we expect some lively debate. We actually expect people to call in on a chat. But we're real lucky to have Bill. You can see him all over the Discovery Channel, Travel Channel, and the Devil's Academy. He's everywhere. We're really lucky to have him. So tune in next week, 9:30 Thursday evening. We're gonna talk with Bill Slevin about relationships and the paranormal. And I think it's a great lead up to Halloween, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
I want to hear about some ghost STDs, honestly.
Is that a thing you think?
I think so. Do you think to avoid ghost STDs, do you think they take a booster shot? A booster shot?
Hey, remember that silence he was afraid of?
Booster shot?
Here it goes.
Booster shot.
Yeah. Because it's a ghost. Get it?
So listen, back to Handy Dick. Did you guys have any preconceived notions on what was going to happen?
No.
And were you surprised by something that did happen?
Yes. You'd be an asshole not to. You'd have taken that entire time for granted if you went in there and were not surprised and didn't come out with something new. That's just, yeah.
Well, what did surprise you that happened? Because we never talked about. We talked about how we felt about going in. Were we doing the right thing? Was this the right time to talk to Andy and all those things? What was something that blew you away that had happened to you or you learned?
Well, the realization about the Andy Dick show. I mean, the stoppage of the Andy Dick show. I mean, I was just, a kid when that show was out, and that was like the height. Like that was the funniest goddamn thing on TV. And I wasn't just saying that to say it. I mean, it was just when it came on, I never seen anything like that before. It hit that part of your brain where it just was hysterical, and it was the top form. And then to find out, not only did it stop for a tragic reason, but like, to this day, like it still hits as hard to him. And I mean, as it should, but it's just like, I didn't know that. And to hear like somebody, you used to like, look at and watch, and respect, be hit that way. It caught me off guard. I mean, we went in there with laughs and fun in the back of our minds, and that happened. And it just, so.
Yeah. I mean, I expected at some point there might be an emotional part. Cause I didn't want to dig in on the negative stuff, the tabloid stuff, but I expected there to be some part where we got to where Andy is now.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not the greatest place he's ever been in life. And, of course we want to see him get back on his feet, and I think he will.
Of course. Yeah. 100%.
But, I expected at some point to have that downturn, but yeah, I didn't know any of that. And that, like, there was no research that I did that even indicated that was the whys of, that show ending.
Yeah, and the things that we can't show. I mean, there was a couple of bombs he dropped that we had to cut. That was pretty awesome.
A couple instances. Yeah.
A couple knuckles.
Yeah, what couple things we had to.
Yeah, can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard.
Yeah. Sorry.
Josh, what about you? What was your surprise in all this? Like expectation versus reality, or just something you learned, or something you didn't expect to happen, like the theme song offer?
I was surprised at how difficult it was sometimes to differentiate what he was feeling and where he was coming from, because I think that we were all pushing very hard to allow him to have a good time because we, wanted to have a good time with him. And it was weird sometimes to sense, where he's obviously a bit out of sorts there. And, things have been very interesting for him as of late. And it was tough to tell where he was coming from sometimes. And I wanted to make sure that we were being positive with him, because that was the intent there. And it was surprisingly difficult sometimes. And that was unfortunate. I didn't like that part of it.
Yeah, you could see in a couple of places where we stumbled over each other to try to get the clear intent of question to him. Instead of, when referring to people he had worked with, when he went to let's talk with the dead celebrities too. And I absolutely didn't want to go there. It's important to recognize people he worked with who have passed. but I didn't want to dwell on the bad things because this was to me a celebration of his work, and to find out more about him and how things started, and then to just he veered in that direction, and I kind of it was hard to recover from that for me asking the questions because I prepared so much positive that I didn't plan on going there.
Well, and that's one of those things too in that interview is that he was, and it didn't happen often, but there was at least one or two instances where he almost seemed like he was picking a fight, especially with you, name them. And I don't think that was how it was intended, but I think that it was just, I don't know, maybe it was, maybe he was. That's what I'm saying is that it was difficult to tell exactly where he was coming from sometimes and how to best react to that. And it made things interesting.
I think
it was
maybe
overall fun and I enjoyed it. But it was interesting that way.
Hammer's beard was a little more delicious, he wouldn't have these issues. I think this is a Hammer
noticed-
issue.
You still haven't shaved, however.
I don't have a
You
chin.
do that for Andy
I would absolutely shave for Andy. That is,
if we get the theme song.
forget the theme song. I will absolutely shave. There is not a. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you do not pass go. He says,
Will you sing it like this?
I fucking hate you. I tire fire. I can't think of an insult strong enough to
I like it
convey
just shuts you down.
how much pain I want you to suffer on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's intense. My
Listen, I
hate
appreciate you
hatred.
sending that picture out. It was really nice of you to offer that up.
Is that going to be your new logo?
What's that?
We are
Get
looking
rid of the
for something
hands.
yeah.
What? Give her the finger.
No. No, I honestly, I also want to thank Billy, who not only set this up, but like he genuinely got out of the way and let it happen. And I was worried that somebody who's looking after Andy would have inserted themselves more or been careful of the questions we were asking.
Oh.
And we got to have an interview, which was great.
Yeah, and there was somebody else that helped out too. Was that Andy's wife? I forget how that worked out.
Yeah.
There was a third party there as well. Yeah, they all.
Yeah.
But that was great that we got assistance from all of them and got that done.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. No, he's got a great crew. He's got a real great crew.
Yeah, and it was we got vetted to make sure that we were more than just going to be abusive or in any way turn this to some sick advantage. So this was weeks and weeks in coming, and for a long time we didn't think we would actually get this interview.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get another chance, and we'll be able to talk to Andy about some really cool things.
I seriously, I'm dead serious. We talked about this offline, but I'm dead ass serious when I say I want to do a Star Trek fan fiction. I know shit about Star Trek. I will absolutely say that. This is a relationship show, but no, I'm not done. I want to do a Star Trek show. Josh, you're on board. We're doing this. We're calling Andy Dick. He's gonna play the same character. I want to be like, what does it take? I will shave my beard if you join us on the Star Trek Enterprise. I don't even know if is that Voyager? It's Star Trek Voyager, right? That's the name of the ship. I don't care. I'll be on the Enterprise. You guys can have the Voyager. This is gonna happen.
Spaceships all look the same. Before we're done giving props, though, really quick, I do also want to say, because we did the interview and it was awesome, it was a lot of fun, and Zaz put a lot of hard work into that behind the scenes, and good job.
Thank you.
That was great.
They did.
Well done.
He did a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get the interview, to get this edited up literally half an hour before we aired it. Through a system crash that took out, I don't know, 14 hours of work.
Let's not talk about that.
I like, you did a great job. This is your so far masterpiece. We're gonna do bigger and better, but like this is step one, man. It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
And again, we have stuff coming up. Josh just got done editing an interview we did previously.
With Matt Robinson. Yeah, it was great.
Matt Robinson. Well, a great interview. That was a really good time. We had more technical difficulties, so that one took a while to edit as well. And then we'll also have the edited version of our interview with Brian Swinehart, which was another great interview. We got stuff out of Brian. Again, that was a very surprising interview. You never know when you go into a room with a comedian what you're going to get. Brian is a very funny stand-up comedian who's done this for decades. I didn't know if we were going to get bits. I didn't know what was going to happen. Brian gave us himself many times. That was one of those interviews that I'll remember forever. Actually, it was a really good interview. And Matthew S. Robinson, wow, so much education just coming. If you want to know what it's like to be a up and coming director producer in Hollywood, watch that interview.
Advice from an award winner, multi-award winner.
Yeah, multi-award
Yep.
winner.
And you guys are gonna make me feel terrible by saying, and I'm looking forward to harassing Amy Bababi to get her on the show. So thanks.
Amy, if you're watching, we want you on the show. We've reached out to Amy Bababi. If you don't know who she is, Google it. We hope to get her on the show very soon, hopefully in a couple weeks. So we got a tentative yes. We're gonna make sure everything's cool. Let's go. Yeah. The preview. We're gonna. He hasn't seen. If she's not watching us now, we're gonna make sure she gets surprised with that in the middle of the interview.
Yeah.
We paid for her to do a hello to Zaz on Cameo.
That's the greatest thing. That was the most left field gift I've ever received, and I appreciate it. You guys are beautiful. Thank you.
We love you, man. We love you. This is our
right.
last call out. If you have questions you want to ask us about Andy, put them in the chat. Join us on our Discord. Scroll up on the chat. The Discord join will be there. Or you could call us on the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now, 412-254-4829. I've said it so many times, I think I might have it memorized soon. It's going to be great. Remember when we used to memorize phone numbers?
What's a phone number?
Contact information.
You know, I'm going to talk about this while we're shutting down. Is hey, Jan Hammer, I'm not going to stop. We're coming for you.
Yeah, we're trying to get Jan. Is it Jan or Jan Hammer? Until he shows up on the show, I'm going to say how I want.
Janice.
Trying to get Jan Hammer to show up because honestly, Jan Hammer went just supernova overnight in America. And I want to know what that felt like and what some of the relationships around his sudden massive fame from a very talented individual to this icon of what 80s, early 90s. Just he was there down to now he's a very respected authority on jazz music. And, he is.
No, Josh.
Oh.
Sorry. The subtleties of Joshisms.
I don't know what I missed. I was busy
Sorry,
looking at the
no, it's
webcam,
okay.
trying to be a good host, and you.
You're doing a fantastic job. That was my fault.
So we're trying to get Jan Hammer, and I'm not kidding. We want Jan on the show.
All right.
Is that it?
They did-
We're gonna
Yeah.
get out of here.
We did it.
All right,
Guys, it was
everybody.
fun.
Have yourself a
It was,
great evening.
it was cool talking to Andy, and yeah, thanks again to his people.
Yeah. Have a great day. Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Be cool, everybody. Hi, caller. You're on the
Hello.
air.